3 stories, starting with ONISION. He's lying again, and he's busted. He's saying that him and his partner are getting a divorce. But if you zoom in on it, you see that this is from Florida. All right? Now, I did a little fact checking, but let's just make sure you see it. This is a basic Google printout. It's just a basic upload from Florida. Doesn't make any sense because they're in Washington. Did they get married in Florida? No, they didn't. They were married provably through the New Mexico court system. So what did ONISION do? He did the same thing he's been doing this whole time. He just went and printed something out on the internet so he could do a stupid video where he starts off trying to be sane and then breaks down at the end. The thing is, this whole thing, and I'm not going to go into it for long. This is over now because he's just mocking what he did and grooming these women. So he doesn't deserve more attention than that. But I do want to prove when he lies. For a good reason. Right here, disgraced Fortnite YouTuber. He's not a Fortnite YouTuber, and he wasn't the son. They get everything wrong. Goes into a meltdown in a bizarre video following. Now, there's a couple things I like about the article, and there's a couple things I don't like. I don't like where they get it wrong, that he's a Fortnite YouTuber, and that he went into a meltdown because it's fake. Yeah, technically he went into a meltdown, but the meltdown wasn't real. But if you read through this article, they say it's real. They act like it's real, so I thought I'd point that out to you. He wasn't sobbing. It was fake. This is an act. Everything's been an act. Why? Because if you do go to his new website for his fans, ONISIONfans.com, it redirects you to his YouTube memberships. He's basically just, I do it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I've replaced my Patreon with my YouTube memberships, but he's doing it, and he's not going to lose anything in the end. So let's move on. So our next update is the last one before we actually go into something I haven't done in 5 or 6 days due to being so busy, which is show you crazy YouTubers acting dumb, conning people, all that good. My normal content, the without a crystal ball situation. I don't want to have to talk about this. I just want to make one point. Today, we're supposed to be getting some kind of verification from Steve McRae, and then he's going to get it from Leslie and them about the leaked DMs, because a lot of us want to say that, you know, this is like the ultimate thing she could have done, and it'll just end it for us. We'll just label her as completely evil, even though we already have, but it'll put the final piece to the puzzle for all of us, right? If you've been following it. If you haven't, go see my video versus mode from a couple days ago. Anyway, here's what's up. Last night I did a video that the live stream I did started with me telling you the things I didn't get to say when I had Steve on the night before because it was just such a crazy stream. And you know that we've been talking about how because her personal Facebook page is up, we would be able to verify the fact that she either did or did not say these things. Okay. Problem? Reason I'm updating you? Right here. Now, I went and looked. I can't find it. It seems like it's still down, and there's a good reason for me to update you. Her Instagram and her brand, her YouTube Facebook is back, and her personal Facebook is still gone. I went into elaborate detail last night about how her Facebook was back up. I thought her personal Facebook was back up last night, but either way, that we would be able to verify it because we would go and find the original poster, the person who had this conversation, and we would verify that it linked directly to her Facebook account. When I first said that a few days ago, she disabled the account, but then she brought it back. Well, now it's gone again. And it's almost like she either watched my stream or knew what I said and said to herself, oh, they plan on verifying this tomorrow. And because that's what I said last night. Hey, they said they'd verify it this weekend, Saturday. So it's Saturday today. And when they go to verify it, they're going to click and it's not going to take them to Katie's page. Or will it? Because even though her page is down, I've done some research into Facebook, and it's not 100% yet, but it does seem like these types of conversations are saved. All right, so now I want to show you the most desperate thing that's happened with the GlobeBusters, Jaronism, and the Flatty crew, right? They've done something after we covered here live, we covered their conference. And the conference surprised all of us because it was almost like finally they're admitting that this is a religious thing for them. Almost all of the presentations went to a religious place. Even Jeranism, who's like the head or the forefront of this entire mess, having the largest channel, right? Well, Jaren went live and GlobeBusters went live with some new type of content. It's almost like they found a new thing to criticize, a new thing to do ever since the international conference, which is just ridiculous. And I'm going to show you why. So here's what they're claiming now. All right. The GlobeBusters are claiming that everything NASA does is using a balloon. All right. Booster balloons, and everything is a balloon. And NASA, they found this fact that says NASA buys the most helium. Guess what? There's a good reason why NASA buys the most helium, and it's not because every rocket is a balloon, you ding-dong. Now, I don't have to really work hard to debunk this, because I can just give you a few sources, a few things to look into. The problem is, there are some people that are buying into their lie. So let's kind of show how many people, let's show what they're saying, let's show how wrong they are, and then let's show you how many people are buying into their lie. Because in each of these situations, from the ONISION to the crystal ball over here to this, you got a lot of people who basically cannot think for themselves, and because of how they feel about a YouTuber, they're willing to be misled. Anyway, let's take a quick look. Now, first things first, they are making the claim about helium, NASA, and rockets being fake, satellites being fake, and all of it being done with balloons now. They've made a huge claim. So this is a jet. This is a jet flying up and away until they get high enough to see the curve of the Earth. And it's an obvious curve. This is not a fisheye lens. You can tell, actually. It's not a wide angle or fisheye lens. It is just a regular lens. I'd love to play this for you, but it's done by the BBC. Now, this isn't my point. Not this video. The debunk for these dum-dums, these ding-dongs, is not this video. It is all of the footage. Okay, you can't... They used to be able to claim that NASA's footage, 5 or 6 years ago, NASA's footage is all fake and all that, because NASA was the primary source for images and video that showed the surface, the curve of the Earth from space, right? Luckily now, with new technology, cell phones and other things, we now have better cameras, and we now can have any person, even a person that jumps into a fighter jet, can fly up and show you the curve of the Earth, and it's such a beautiful picture. And I think it just illustrates how big these con men really are. Okay, but first off, I want you to know, it's not this single video, but this is a video from just a regular person not working for NASA showing you the curve of the Earth. You've got SpaceX, which just did an amazing launch that showed the curve of the Earth, that had video from all these different sources that showed every direction of it, something these guys have been wanting for a long time. They say, yeah, but their videos are fake because they only show one scene. Oh no, their launches, they've been putting lots of cameras up there. I've been watching them because they're freaking awesome. If you ever get bored, search for a SpaceX rocket launch. There's a bunch of them out there. Really freaking cool. Then though, I want to just make sure that you do understand all the video from NASA, from every space agency, from every civilian, from students in high school that launch rockets up, homemade rockets that show the curve. There's just no denying it at this point. Now, one way these guys have gotten out of this whole thing is everything's fake. It's all a conspiracy. Not possible. Let's hear some of the dumb things they say really quick, because man, is it dumb. Like this excerpt.
Presenting, sir.
Okay, so the satellite, when you start to compare, of course, you have the balloon deployment via balloon, and then you have all the show. And they because we need to leave clear that the satellite, they construct the satellite, of course, and
they are really running out of material. They've selected a few pieces of video that show balloons launching satellites or equipment. They basically want to make the claim that all rocket video is fake. So let's go to the comment section here, just so you can get a feel for how dumb some people are. And yes, before you criticize me for showing you this, I know it's so dumb that you're like, who cares? But there are people that fund these guys. They pay them to sit around and say this stuff. We need a bunch of P900 recordings of SpaceX launches and landings. Well, guess what, Clayton? I've got them. We've got so many of them. We have you covered. I went and looked the other day. There are thousands on YouTube. Check them out. They literally are convinced. People are believing these ding-dongs, y'all. All of them, from ONISION to Crystal Ball over to here. If YouTube does this, then what? That will be my last day watching YouTube. I don't know what that means. True, they are called contractors for NASA's dirty work. Great idea to have a main website. Dear Mr. U, okay, I'm not reading crazy. All right, everyone making backup YouTube downloaders. But they went into this thing about the YouTube purge on December 10th. I don't think there's going to be a YouTube purge, but hey, we'll wait and see. Is it the 10th yet? It's not, right? It's the 7th. I don't think it'll happen. Okay. British naval officer's first word upon reaching the constant ice or the coastline ice wall of Antarctica. It was an obstruction of such character as to leave no doubt that our future proceedings we may sail through the cliffs of Dover to penetrate such a mass. What does this mean? It means there's a preponderance of crazy psychos that believe these guys. Got me? Now, I'm showing you this because, one, I love debunking these guys, which I've done just now, and laughing at them. But even more than that, I want to show you that for people out there that will say something like, no one's dumb enough to think that, no one's dumb enough to pay a YouTuber to do this, you're wrong. It gets dumb out there, guys. So then, after that video is done, alleging that every satellite, every rocket, yeah, they may be filming them, but guys, it's just a helium balloon, and then they put some kind of like firework underneath it, which I don't know how that makes sense, but that's what Jaronism and the GlobeBusters are saying. They are ding-dongs, just so you know. They're that dumb. Jaronism then goes live on his channel last night, and I haven't watched all of it, but my lord, did it get bad.
Going to step in. So you have to have a very tight or well thought out plan for dealing with the possible eventualities of somebody, for instance, breaking into the group and taking over it. For instance, somebody who wants to infiltrate and take over.
Oh, goodness. They're worried about infiltrators now. They're worried about people infiltrating their flat ding-dongery.
The thing is that you don't have any collateral damage because you are not playing with real lives, real people. So you are just talking about spacecraft, satellites in orbit, spaceships that...
They're so scared about getting their channels deleted and not having their money. Okay, I can only take this in small doses. It's getting so bad. After they had their conference, their Flat Earth International Conference 2019, it has gotten so bad, I can barely get through some of it. But anyway. Wait, the Earth is not a spinning ball flying through space at over 6 million miles per hour? Go figure. Actually, it is. You're just stupid. I caught Owen's video on DLive. It was positive and fun. He only used his band hammer a couple of times. I really enjoyed the episode, though. We are on our way to a tipping point. Flat Earth is coming for you, too. Okay, live in your dream world, big guy. We will live in the world with rockets and satellites, and it's called reality. You can live in your dream world. The clip with Neil deGrasse Tyson sending politicians and flat earthers to space to prove that the Earth is a ball is basically in reverse. Then he leaks a Bible verse. Oh, goodness. Oh, Jaron's talking about going to DLive soon. He just wants to be like Owen Benjamin. He just loves the O-Bench. Everything O-Bench does, Jaron's just like, I want to do that. After my 2 years of research, I'm happy to say I now see the light. Cleaning my mind of the assumed theoretical science of the universe placed me at a pace with God and His Word. What am I trying to show you about the flatties? Well, after watching FEIC 2019 and seeing how much religion was in Jaron and everyone else's presentations, which, by the way, is something that they have tried to keep out of their presentations for years, you can now tell that they have basically accepted the breakdown of their movement They know that the only people they have left are the really hardcore fundamentalists who are using flat earth to verify or to say that God is provable here in this universe. And they know this, so they're starting to incorporate it in their stuff. Now, this will not go good for them because they still have some hardcore viewers that are still supporting it because they say it's anti-science and they're doing it for that whole side of things. They don't want to mix in religion. And then other people are Christians and they don't believe in the flat earth, or it would butt with their religion to believe in it. Basically, all of it's going bad for them. I'm going to go ahead and exit it out here. I wanted to upload a quick update to you guys to catch up, to give you a little bit of a catch up and show you 3 different spaces on YouTube that are very similar. Not because of their content, but because of the reaction from their dedicated fans. You can debunk them, you can prove them liars, you can prove that they are manipulating people just for the paycheck and the money. They're refusing hard evidence for the paycheck and the money, or behaving in a very evil fashion. Actually, all 3 of these groups do all those things, and yet they have a core audience that's big enough to keep supporting them and paying them throughout. So it's very important that we all stand up and use our voices and show the evidence and show people what's really going on. Hit like, hit subscribe. See you later. I'll be live tonight, I think, and then I'll be finishing some videos that are more like long form very soon. Hey, hit it.